this one is going to be a bit different. I'm going to veer off from sci-fi and other fandom stuff just for a moment, because, believe it or not, before I entered my 30 and nerdy era, I was actually an angsty teenage scene kid, complete with skinny jeans and neon-colored Monster Band merch. So, with that said, if you're an A Day to Remember fan who's been on the fence with their recent releases, more specifically 2021's You're Welcome, then you're gonna wanna hear this. Their new record, Big Ol' Album Vol.1, just might be the one to draw you back in. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's start with the basics. I'm genuinely enjoying this album. It actually feels like this record is how I wanted their last release, You're Welcome, to sound. Remember 2016's Bad Vibrations? To me, this actually feels like more of a natural evolution from the sound we got on that album. And if you're a fan of the Common Courtesy or What Separates Me From You eras of the band, you're actually gonna hear some familiar vibes in this one as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't hate You're Welcome. There's plenty of songs on it that I did like, but to me it felt like they kind of just completely threw out their pop punk roots and then leaned really hard into the radio-friendly territory. Not necessarily a bad thing, but that shift, in my opinion, actually made the few heavier songs we got feel out of place and ultimately left the album feeling disjointed with its overall tone. This new record still experiments, but in my opinion, it feels much more focused. They found a way to play with the different sounds without abandoning what longtime fans, such as myself, love. And that's key with this album. It still feels familiar. It has the core pop-punk foundation that we expect from A Day to Remember, paired with more mature songwriting. The heavy tracks, properly heavy. The catchy sing-along songs, undeniably catchy. And interestingly, I found there's actually not really any acoustic ballad akin to If It Means a Lot to You. Overall, this album remains upbeat and cohesive. Standout tracks for me, All My Friends. It's your classic A Day to Remember pop-punk banger. It's instantly memorable, and it's definitely gonna be on repeat for me. Next, To the Death. Takes you back to the band's heavier side, ranking it up there with tracks like Second Sucks, Mr. Highway's Thinking About the End, or even going back to Heartless. Then there's Die For Me. This one's actually co-written by Oliver Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon, and you can definitely feel Ollie's influence, specifically in the lyrics. But it's still distinctly an A Day to Remember song. And finally, two other songs that I really liked, Same Team and Flowers. For me, these two songs specifically bring back the introspective and heartfelt lyrics that, in my opinion, Jeremy has always done so well, and that is actually something else that I feel was missing on You're Welcome. Look, I don't want to call this new album a strict return to form, as that feels too harsh when I did like a good bit of You're Welcome. But ultimately, Big Ol' Album Volume 1, to me, makes more sense in the context of their older work. The experimental moments definitely add depth without overshadowing their core sound, and the album as a whole flows beautifully, offering a nostalgia-tinged hit that doesn't come off like a retread of any of their older work. Again, in my opinion, A Day to Remember has never truly missed, but this one is a solid hit, especially when compared to its predecessor. So, what do you think? Have you listened to Big Ol' Album Volume 1 yet? What are your favorite tracks if you have? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow along, and share this with some fellow A Day to Remember fans, or someone that you think needs to check them out for the first time. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. I'll catch you on the next one. We might be talking about emo music, we might be talking about Star Trek, we might be talking about a random game. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Live long and stay brutal.